Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm back with another video. Today's video is another movie review. It's another Lifetime movie based on a true story. Yes, honey, true stories is what we're here, what we do. This is Stolen by Their Father, the Elizabeth Meredith story. So this takes place in Anchorage, Alaska. Elizabeth, she has two daughters by the name of Meredith and Marianne. Yeah. 6 and 8 years old at the time. She was in a relationship with a Greece man, and she had two children by him. So he used to, well, let me get a backstory of her. Elizabeth, she was basically kidnapped by her parent when she was younger, by her mom. She basically uprooted her from her biological father and basically have her moving around across the town. Every time you turn around, she supposedly had some new man in her life that was supposed to be her father. But over the years, her mother told her who her real father was, and she eventually got in contact with her real father, and he was happy to see her. And, I guess they had a great relationship after that. So, fast forward. So, Elizabeth, she marries this Greek man named of Gregory Diaco, Greg for short. And while they was married for the 4 years they've been together, and doing so, also having children involved, he used to abuse her, and she got to the point where she was fed up. She couldn't do it anymore, so they decided to file for divorce, and he didn't like that fact. So they eventually had, I think, joint custody, but, well, she had legal custody, but he had visitation rights, supervised visitation rights. So, excuse me. So, each time he would visit his kids, and then, they'll go back with their mom. So, as his time for the supervised visitations was up, he was supposed to take them for the weekend. So, the mom didn't think nothing of it, so she allowed her daughters to go with their dad. And then he was supposed to drop them off at school 2 days later. Come to find out, they ain't been in school in 2 days, so they not on the third day. And the mom gets there early to go pick them up, and the teacher says, "Your kids haven't been to school in 2 days." That's a low blow, because you're expecting your children to be with their other parent and do what they gotta do and then go to school. That didn't happen. So Elizabeth goes home. She calls the police and explains to them what happened. The police come. They make some phone calls at the police station to see where he's at. Then come to find out he left town. So Elizabeth goes and get in contact with some of his family members that's live in Alaska with them, and tell them and ask them, like, where's Greg at? I saw your son driving him and my daughter somewhere. Like, where is he? And then she made this comment like, "What are you talking about? He's probably with his family in Greece." Then it clicked, like, oh yeah, he took my kids out the country, and now I gotta do everything in my power to get them back, because in Alaska, she is the sole provider, and she's the mother, and she has legal custody of them. But in Greece, they have different laws that they abide by, and what may be good in America may not be good over there. So it's like the roles reverse. So she goes back to her job. She starts making phone calls, get in touch with everybody to figure out where her children can be. She goes to the police. The detective act like she don't want to, push further to, do it. So it's like basically trying to give it some time. But time is of the essence, especially when it involves children. You do not want to sit around and waste time is precious. Like, you can't get that time back. You lose it, it's gone forever. So she decided to take matters into her own hand. She started to get in touch with everybody. She get in touch with the travel agency, and the travel agency, come to find out, was an ex-girlfriend of his, and he had her book tickets for them to go to Greece. And she relayed that information over to the mom, and then the mom went back to the detectives like, listen, you had that information, why you didn't say nothing? So then she was like, listen, whatever he may say about you, whatever he may say about me is like whatever, but I need to get my children back, and you want to, try to push this further. So eventually the detective takes her stuff, and, to try to get more information about the case. She ended up getting in contact with a whole bunch of other people during her job. She works at a domestic violence shelter. So was able to get contacts from the head director so that she can, figure out what she got to do when she go to Greece. So she talks to this lawyer in Greece. And he was like, no, you don't need to come. But she was like, nah, I ain't got time for it. I'm about to go try to get my kids. So she ends up going. She spent everything she had, I guess, in savings or whatever, for a trip to Greece so she can try to get her kids back. But after a while, her money was running dry, so she had to return back home to the States. By that time, it was, like 6 months in, and she still didn't have enough money. So it was a whole year that passed. She was able to do fundraisers, work as much as she wanted to save up money so she can go. So the second time she went there, and they was trying to give her all hell. Excuse my French, but they were trying to give her hell. Basically, everybody was just trying to give her the runaround, and she wasn't going for their money. She already missed out on a whole year of their lives. Like, he done put them in school. He basically told his girls that the mother didn't want them, that, and then he also told the schools that the mom was dead. So she shows up, she ends up hiring her own private investigator and to relay this information back. He told her taxes to do, and it worked. He went to the sister's house. The sister said he wasn't there. Then she was like, he probably in contact with his brother. So he did that and then figured out, yeah, he's here in town or whatever. Then she goes back to, figure out a way to get in contact with him. They was able to get in contact with the school, but the consulate, she ended up messing it up by letting the school know that they was looking for her, that she was looking for her girls, and that messed up the visit. So that time, they had to take a step back. Now, this time around, she did it a new way. She hired a private investigator and told him the situation, what happened. Long story short, she was able to see her girls, but whatever Greg told them, they had to, abide by it, because in their eyes, since he's the parent of his hometown, he has jurisdiction and power over his children, because Greece laws are different than America. So he told everybody that she died and that he's the sole person to take care of them. Mind you, the kids went to school dirty. They only been to school 60 days of being there for 2 years, because now it's already been 2 years of being there in Greece for 2 years. They dirty, hair need to be combed. They just look like kids you would see in a struggling town, and it's sad, because you're supposed to be their dad. You're supposed to have a job. You're supposed to have all this stuff, and your children look how they look. So when the mom saw her children, she was looking like, I know her heart was taking it back, like, dang, my children really look like this. And then the fact that she tried to give them a hug, they didn't want to touch her. They didn't want to hug her. They didn't even call her mother or nothing. They was like, I hate you. You a stupid bee. don't touch me, whatever. And then at that time, the kids went to their dad after he was served papers, that the kids can come home with their mom. But with doing so, they end up getting to the airport and the mom was taken into custody. And they had to have a hearing because the dad said that the mom abused them and did so much stuff to them. So they did their hearing. The judge heard her testimony. I thought they was going to side with her. No, since that's his hometown, they sided with the father. And the mom didn't like that. She started breaking down, crying. I even cried for her. Like, I felt her pain. I felt her pain. Like, nobody wants their child taken away from them, especially if they're the ones that's providing for them, caring for them, putting a roof over their head and everything. They're doing everything they in their power to make sure their children is okay. Nobody wants to have their children taken away from them, especially when they're the ones that's doing all the work. Nobody wants that done or taken from them at all. Like, it really breaks their heart down. So they figured out a way to, she can get custody of her kids and get back home to the States. So what she did was in the middle of the night, because she had 3 days for the next a court so that he gets custody. So within those 3 days, they went to a hotel. She had a wig on. She had her kids dressed up real nice with clothes and stuff like that. Because come to find out, the kids finally told the truth that they didn't want to stay with their dad. And that their dad made them say all that stuff. And, the kids are starting to warm up to their mom again. So while in the middle of the night, while it was dark, they was able to board a boat from I think it's called Dianos, Greece to Kos, Greece. And there they was to take a ferry or flight to Turkey so that they can board into United States. They was able to do that safely because I know each time the mom was Elizabeth was looking over her shoulder like, is he going to come and get us? Is he going to come and try to take the girls from us? So once they was able to get past the embassy customs at the airport, it was like a sigh of relief. It was just beautiful that they made it home safe and sound, that everybody welcomed them in with open arms. But, that didn't last much longer because after they got home, they started, they're all traumatized, mind you. Them girls were missing for 2 years in the whole country. So 6 and 8, they're 8 and 10. In 2 years, that's a lot of damage on the children, especially when they was young and they really wasn't kind of like oblivious to what was really happening to them. They just assumed that they was going on like a family trip. And then come to find out, they was actually kidnapped from their other parent. That's traumatizing. So, long story short, they was reunited back home with their mom. This is the true stories. Ripped from the headlines. I have afterward story. The girls, as they grew up, they had to go a lot of therapy. Their mom continued doing her job working at a domestic violence shelter, helping more women and children understand the lives of trauma. And they was able to overcome once they got to like a good age. Was able to reconnect with their mom, have another close relationship with her. They all graduated from college, have degrees, living their best life, doing what fulfills them and their interests, and learn not to get married so quickly and have children so that you won't have to go through it, because it's sad that the mom went through that herself and then also her children went through it. So it's like the cycle literally repeated itself through those 2 generations. But God had their back. God was on their side. They kept faith. They stayed strong. And they saw it through. This is a great movie, another based on a true story. Y'all can check it out. It's the Lisbeth Meredith story, stolen by their father, based on a true story. Y'all can Google it, check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Yeah, so give me a like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.